In this video, I want to give you a very easy system that you can use right after watching this video to start generating organic leads on social media. Hey guys, what is up? If you haven't met me yet, my name is Emmanuel. I am the founder over at Square One Group. Really, our mission is to help you identify your expertise and then help you scale your real estate business using systems. That said, got nothing to sell you. We really make these videos because we want to try to help bring in some new business for you. So if and when you do decide to start to scale your real estate business, you keep us in mind because we would love to work with you. Now, today I want to jam on with you about real estate lead generation using social media. Now, I bring up this topic simply because I'm sure you've heard it from maybe your office or through the grapevine that there are all these real estate agents that are generating a ton of business using social media, yet there somehow seems to be this shroud over how exactly do they do it or what exactly are they doing. And in some cases, maybe there is a secret strategy that's typically trapped behind some sort of paywall, like to a coaching program, for example. But the reality is this stuff isn't very hard to execute, so might as well just give you the framework because let's get you some wins. And that really brings me to the goal of today's video. I want to give you the exact framework to get you some new sales. I'm going to give you the breakdown, the specific breakdown of the strategy and system that we use and that we teach every single one of our real estate agent clients to generate leads, clients, and closes. All right, so let's get into it, shall we? Now, the strategy that I'm specifically referring to, it's often called outbounding the inbound, or the act of reaching out to people that interact with us. Now, the strategy can take many forms like outbound dials or outbound text messages, for example, but for the sake of this video, we're gonna talk strictly social media. All right, now before I take you into the look of how this actual system works, I need to give you some ground rules. The only purpose of social media, it is to start conversations, and it's simply because it is through conversations that conversions, or in this particular case, transactions happen. So focus on how many conversations you can start essentially every single day using any one of your social media platforms. All right, number two is that we need to create in order to engage. You need to be producing something of value in order to incite a response. So that means essentially that you need to find a way to post. There's no way around this. You can't do this strategy without creating content. And the more that you post, the more the likelihood you're going to be able to incite a response. And that leads to big idea number three, which is that you should only be interacting with people that interact with you. Now, when we're talking about responses or inciting the response, there are only three main types that you need to be measuring. Number one is the like to a post. Number two is a comment to a post. And number three is a follower to your profile. And this is simply because you can, at that point, leverage any one of these three types of actions to start a conversation. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in a second. Okay, now let's talk about the actual system. And I'm going to break this into three main parts. First, I'm going to talk about time, then I'm going to talk about the script, and then I'm going to talk about knowing your limits. And I'm going to use the example of Instagram just simply because we all know about Instagram. We all kind of know how it works, and it's going to be an easy platform or social media platform to scale and really just take everything that I'm telling you now and plug and play. All right, now let's get into these three main parts. And the first part, I should say, that I want to talk about is speed to lead. All right, couple ground rules as it pertains to speed to lead. Number one is that I'm sure you've heard speed to lead, that term before. And the main thing that you have to understand with regards to social media and really outbounding the inbound is that you have less than 24 hours to get a response. So if you get a new follower, you get a new like, you get a new comment, and you want to engage with somebody, if you wait till the following day, you will likely not be able to get a reply. The faster they engage with you, the faster you need to be replying to them, which really leads to point number two. Faster the outbound, faster the response. All right, part two, let's talk scripts. Very easy script you need to keep in mind in order to create new clients. You just need to be focused on starting a conversation. You can't sound sleazy and salesy. You just have to be yourself and just talk as if you were talking to anybody else. So this is a very simple script that we use, and it's essentially just saved on the document. We copy and paste this whenever we have the opportunity to start a new conversation, and it goes like this. Hey, first name, send. Thanks for doing a thing. And when I put the brackets doing a thing, that could be liking a post, commenting on something, or maybe getting a follow. Hey, thanks for doing this thing. And you're gonna wanna make sure that you type out exactly what they're doing. So thanks for following me on my Instagram account, or thanks for commenting on this post. And then of course hit send. Then the next thing is we're gonna wanna try to incite a conversation. And the easiest way to incite a conversation is to just keep it simple. Are you this or that? Just pick two random things that you could essentially start a conversation with, this thing or that thing, and try to get a response from there. So are you currently owning a home or are you renting? Or maybe, so have you done all your Christmas shopping yet? Or are you doing it on Amazon? Like, you can go pretty broad strokes about this because remember, at the end of the day, the intent is to start a conversation. And then from there, you just kind of carry it on. By the way, just a quick heads up, we actually have a whole script that we give every single one of our clients. It's a copy and paste script. If you want access to that, then join the free Facebook group, leaving the link in the description below, and then we'll get the actual script. It's like a whole drawn out script you can copy and paste. We'll get that over to you ASAP. All right, moving on to part 3 of this, which is you gotta know your limit. It'd be great if we can just send out a bunch of messages every single day, but there is a hard cap to the amount of new conversations that we can start. So you gotta know your limit. Roughly, from all of the testing and all of the advice that we've received, it's roughly about 20 new chat starts or new conversation starts a day. That said, we definitely don't want to be pushing that limit. So we always recommend keeping it about 15 a day to be safe because look, at the end of the day, it's one of the worst feelings to be put inside of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it is, jail. And then the last little bit of this is that this is only a requirement or rule for new chat starts. If you're already having a conversation with somebody, then this doesn't actually deduct or go against the conversations that you can create. Okay, so how can you use this now? Well, 5-step instruction process that you can follow right now. Number 1, post something. It could be anything, just post something because we need to try to incite a like, comment, or follow, which really leads to step 2, which is we need to be looking for those likes, comments, or follows. And then once we see a like, comment, or follow, we move into step 3. We slide into the DMs or the direct messages and start that conversation using the script that I just showed you, this thing right here. And then number 4, we're gonna wanna track the data. Super important that we track the data and that we keep logs of how many conversations that we start per day versus how many conversations we're maintaining or continuing per day. Now, I need to stress the importance of this because when we start measuring these conversations and these numbers that will lead to a new client, we can then start to predict how many new conversations or conversations we need to be maintaining or starting in order to get to the next transaction. And then step 5 of this process, it is to test. It is the one thing that I always keep harping on in every single one of my, well, not every one of my videos, but most of my videos. You gotta test. That's the only way you're gonna be able to get 1% better. Now that we're actually tracking this data and this information, we're gonna maybe wanna try testing the script or the type of content just to try to incite more conversations because the goal is if we can continue to get 1% better after every iteration of us executing the system, we'll be able to easily predict when our next transaction is sooner than later. That said, if you really like this video, then I highly recommend that you give us a thumbs up, the subscribe button, the bell icon, you know, all that stuff. And then also make sure you check out this video right here. Bye now.